Hey guys, it is Tanya, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome to another speed build and to another installment of the Squish. Today I am back building a tiny house in the world of Windenburg using a lot of these pieces that are part of the ruins in this world. So some of these are from just the regular build by catalog, and some of them are from debug and show live edit objects. And I've been wanting to use them to build something for a very long time, but I had no idea what. So I decided to just grab a bunch of them and start experimenting and see what happened. So that's what you're watching here today. It did end up becoming a tiny house, which is sort of what I was going for. And it's a very interesting one, I think. I used so many different debug items, and I went really detailed with landscaping. You'll see all of that. There's like so many items on this lot, but the inside doesn't match the outside. I decided to do that because I didn't really like the idea of having the inside match the outside, because I wanted this to be a functional home your Sims could live in. So I was thinking maybe they took these ruins and they renovated a little like Airbnb or a tiny house of some sort in here for you to live in. So the outside looks like these ancient ruins and it's really cool looking, and then the inside is more like IKEA-like. So you'll see that when we get there. But I just wanted to explain that decision because I wasn't really sure where I was going with the inside for a while, but that's what we ended up doing in the end. So you can kind of see this weird shaped house happening. It changes a bunch throughout this process on how much space it takes up. I do think it ends up technically being a micro home. I think it's 30 tiles maybe. I remember making sure that it fit into the first like tier 1 tiny home. It's tier 1, right? I always get confused if which one's tier 1 and which one's tier 3. I know which one's tier 2, but I think this is tier 1. Tier 1 is micro, right? I think so. Anyway, we're just moving around a lot of the ruins because a lot of them that are in debug, the ends of them are not finished. So I was trying to hide a lot of those to make this whole thing look finished. And we do end up adding a water feature in the front of this lot to, match the surroundings a little bit better. I use so many rocks everywhere. Hopefully you guys like landscaping, because that's mostly what this build is. I feel like the last couple minutes are furnishing, but almost this entire build is landscaping. And I love me some landscaping. So you guys know I had a really good time building this one. So, yeah, we're just adding some more rocks around, trying to make this pond I just placed down look a little bit more realistic. Very much not there yet, but I think we get there in the end. It ends up being completely covered in plants and rocks. So you'll see that, but we're just adding a trim right now and then messing around with roof ideas. I did end up having a roof, but not as much of a roof as I have right here. I also did use these columns from romantic garden stuff. I used the ones with the like moss growing up the bottom. I thought those looked really cool. I feel like I used a lot from Get Together as well as romantic garden stuff. Not really. I think I used a couple of items from there, but I feel like I used a decent amount of Jungle Adventure as well. But I didn't limit my pack usage in this build whatsoever, so apologies for that. But I do have a base game build coming out very soon, so be on the lookout for that. I just got to finish it up first. But this was one I just really wanted to fiddle around and make it look cool based on this grand idea I had in my head. So yeah, hopefully you like it, because I had a blast with it. And obviously these stairs in the front are not functional. They're just a decorative item from the catalog. So the stairs to access the house are in the back. You can see me placing them right now. I used ones from Jungle Adventure. We should be painting the sides of them later on to match what I paint the rest of the house. But I did put a door at the top of these steps, but inside I block it off. So like there's stuff in front of that door. Like that door is not used anymore. I imagine that was part of the renovations for this home or structure, build, Airbnb, whatever you want to have it be, because they want to preserve the ruins part. So they don't want anyone walking up those steps. So they're like, nope, that door is permanently locked. We're not giving you the key. And yeah, so they have to go through the back door, which I think worked out pretty nicely. I also lined up these windows from base game with the holes in the ruins. I thought that worked out very nicely, that you could see right through. Oh, it's so cute. I had so much fun with that. You can kind of see it coming together now. Although that giant piece of ruin in the back that I placed, I do end up deleting in the end because it blocked my Sims from being able to enter the house. So unfortunately, that giant piece is going to go away, but it's all right. We have a lot of other pieces of ruins all over this lot and lots of rocks and greenery, and there's just a lot of items. So missing one wasn't that big of a deal. But yeah, it's really frustrating sometimes how some of the debug items you find, most of them, like from Show Live Edit objects in particular, your Sims will just walk right through. Like I used these giant rock structures in a build I did like a little village in Sulani when Island Living came out, and I put this giant rock, like, you know, coating the whole entrance of the lot. So you literally had to walk through the rock, and it worked. It was fine. But then like things like this item, Sims are like, I can't walk there. Even though it's very far away from me, I can't walk there. So it's interesting how that works. But we do have this little bridge going over the water. So there's water on this lot, but it ends up being mostly covered by rocks and plants. So you don't really notice too much of it. And then for the roof, I used a little bit of roof pieces, but mostly just rocks and stuff that are part of the ruins, because I did want it to look like it all blended in together. And I felt like the roof just kind of stuck out. Like, I don't know, it didn't look like it was supposed to be there. So I did fiddle with that. But here we are just adding some trims and stuff to the little bit of roof we did keep on this lot. And yeah, adding some more trees and stuff. I was just trying to make it look as lush and realistic as possible. So hopefully that came across. Adding so many rocks absolutely everywhere. Lots of cool items. I don't know how I feel about this, but I added this fishing pond that's like partially under the ruins in the back. It should be functional and my Sims could walk around it just fine. It looks a little weird, but I kind of like it. So that's there if you notice that. But we're messing around with the roof more here, just trying to figure out what the best way is to make this look realistic and, you know, still have a roof, and adding some more of these pieces of the ruins. And we made the roof round in the end, which I thought worked out pretty well. It would be good for, you know, water falling off of it. And I really liked the idea of having all the greenery up the top. I thought it looked really pretty, and we're just adding a couple of different colors of this one stone texture. And now we're inside doing the floor plan. So at this point, I wasn't sure what I was going for, but we quickly skip over to the Island Living counters to go for a more IKEA look. So I kind of like the very contrast look of the outside versus the inside of this build. And I think I want to do another build sometime soon. It's been a while. That's like some sort of renovated build, so maybe like an older building that has like a modern extension. I've gotten a lot of suggestions for that recently, so I might give that a go this weekend. It really depends on what sounds fun. This weekend's going to be all over the place as far as uploads and streams go, because I mentioned in yesterday's video that I ordered all the parts for my first ever custom PC build. So as long as they come in tomorrow like they're supposed to, I'm probably going to be attempting to build a PC for the first time in my life tomorrow. So I don't know how things are going. I do have a build in the works that will hopefully be out tomorrow, depending on if I can finish it in time. But it's going to be all over the place this weekend. But I do really want to sometime soon do a like modern extension build. So if you guys have any ideas for that, I know a recent one was like a library, but I feel like I've done a lot of libraries and like bookstores and coffee shop type builds lately. So, or not lately, but in general. So I'm not really sure what I want to do, but I think that would be a fun one to do. I guess it could be like something small. Okay, I'm getting ideas already. All right, I'm going to write some of these down, and maybe sometime soon we'll have that. But I also have just a ton of ideas in general. I have an Excel document that I write down ideas in and like plan out when I think videos I might do are. And then, you know, I rearrange it all the time based on what sounds fun in the moment. But I might have to add that to the list. I'm excited. Okay, but this is the kitchen space. I did add fairy lights around this interior. I thought a majority of the stuff in here is always in here, whether this is an Airbnb or what. I assumed that this is one of those little homes that it comes fully furnished to begin with, but there's a couple personal items here and there, like the fairy lights and the postcards and stuff. But I really wanted the interior to look very put together, like it's built in, and this is kind of how it works. But of course, if you guys don't like the interior and want to fix it, to match the outside of the build. That's something you could definitely do if you download this build. And if you'd like to download this build, it is available on the Sims 4 gallery if you search Gryphi or the hashtag MsGryphi. That information is also down below, as well as a direct download link to the gallery website if it's easier for you to download it that way. So I did use a lot of items from the Tiny Living stuff pack in this build because they just fit so well for the idea I had going. So I did use the couch. We're also using the bed in the bedroom, I'm pretty sure. So you'll see those around. And you can see I'm using this door as like a window. I really like that because I think that's pretty realistic to some houses and builds and stuff. The house that I lived in during college, which was my grandma's house, I had my bed in front of a closet door, so you couldn't access it. So I think it's really realistic when doors are blocked off and you can't use them. So I don't know if anyone else has that experience. It's not something I often do in The Sims, but I thought for this build it worked out pretty well. But here we are. We have a little office space. We have these beautiful succulents on the walls. And then this is the bathroom. We come back in here a couple different times and change it. Some of it might be off camera. I had to play test it to see how to get it to work, but we do fix it in the end. But here we are picking out this bed from Tiny Living. I believe I just used this bed in another build recently, and I was just talking about how much I love these beds, and I don't know why I haven't used them much yet. I think it's because when Tiny Living first came out, I was like, okay, we're going to use a Murphy bed. So I wasn't using the single bed that much, but I think they are really, really pretty, and I feel like I'm going to start overusing them, so I apologize for that. But I guess it's okay because I always get stuck on items and then I overuse them for a while. So it's good to change it up occasionally and be like, okay, we're going to stop overusing that one and we're going to change it to this one. So that's what we're going to do for now. But this room ended up being very simple. Like I had mentioned, the whole place, I wanted it to feel like came like this and just had a couple personal touches. But anyway, we are coming to the end of the video. I hope you guys did enjoy this. If you did, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up. You can also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and if you click that bell, it'll turn on notifications to be notified of every single time I upload a new video. Thanks for watching. Bye guys.